Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you're tuning in, you guys know the drill. Hit that thumbs up. Red day recap today. Essentially a max loss day. I think I might title the video Max Loss. You know, ATTO, our biggest single loss on a stock in a long time. Whilst it did offer a lot of opportunities going up, man, did we struggle on these trades. Not getting to connect. A lot of scalp trades for breakouts, which did not work. The pullbacks were my best bet. But even some of the pullback trades getting chopped out. And, this thing, at one point, I was down on the day $125, or no, 127. And I said, hey, today it's giving me that vibe. The story. The market is always telling a story each and every day. And, I did see the warning sign saying, hey, if you continue at this point on, the odds are against you. But Relentless Trader sometimes, still thinks he can pull it off and get it done. And it's not a bad mindset, but at the end of the day, we want to swim with the tide. There's no need to swim against the tide. Can you swim against the tide and still get to your destination? Of course. And that's what I tried to do today, and it didn't work out so well. I unfortunately, smaller losses, and then two, medium-sized losses towards the end. Now, with that being said, today was a very controlled day. I feel like, I was never really out of my character when it comes to just emotions and those type of things. Felt great throughout the entirety of the day. Just took trades that just didn't work. So, in summary, it was a really good day. We're just red, right? So, and I think there was a comment in Discord that was like, great day, just not for this type of market or something like that. Something along those lines. A really good point. So, P&L, we're down $811.13. I always say if we could see the future and know that we're going to be red a certain amount and we just skip trading, we can go enjoy that money. $800, that could be a 5-star meal at some restaurants, right? It could mean maybe some shopping, right? A lot of different things. So let's see what we can do better for next time. Let's talk about the stock. Let's deep dive a little bit more, and even just our approach into the day. I came in here very aggressive, guys. I came in today telling myself, hey, it's going to be big size, big size day, big, Relentless Trader putting on his big boy pants, right, to take on some size. So I started the day, sizing up at 2,500 on BEAT, and you guys will see here in some of the areas, going up to about 7,500, a couple different times, but a little too aggressive. And I think this is the difference between today, especially the start of the day, and some other days. Some of the other days I'm like, hey man, let's just wait. BEAT is a stock that was coming into resistance, but because we've been seeing so much follow through recently, it's just like, hey, this is the only one holding up after the second, third minute of the day. Let's jump into this area because the stocks at this point in the day, the last few weeks, have just been going up. So that's essentially what I did here. And again, this one held up its first couple of minutes. So that's what I tried to do. And ultimately, it's not going to pull away as fast as I was expecting. I thought I would have been in at 90. This thing would have been at 310, 315. That wasn't the case. First candle, we had a high of 86. And from there, we never pulled back below that level. Low of this candle at 32 is at 87. Somebody's cutting grass or something out there. Okay, the mic isn't picking it up great. So we got 87, 87, double bottom, right? So not bad. If you're in, towards this area between 86 and 90, you could have sold at $3 for a couple of cents. Once it's not holding above 3 pretty well, you want to be back out. It does make a new low. It pulls back to a low of 80 and then surges back up to a high of 93. Pulls back to 80 again. So it makes new lows. It then essentially double bottoms this new low, right? 79 and 80. And then it rips all the way to 310. So, opportunities pretty earlier on if you're patient. I was in out at 90 a couple of times, it not really going, just in at 92, back out at 90, in at 91, out at 89, that type of thing, and ultimately missed the 10 cent opportunity. But with that being the move, it wasn't that much range anyways, right? But if you're watching this and you're confident down here, which I honestly didn't think was a great dip because of how we're not holding above the 200 or VWAP, but it held up, and some aggressive traders might have gotten this, but I don't like this trade here. I'm going to say that here. I don't like this entry, but it worked here in this situation. So it curls back up. Our 5-minute volume profile wasn't so bad. It's like a lower volume pullback. But the only issue is that we're below our moving averages and trend lines. If it breaks out and then pulls back into the trend lines, it's better for me. So I'm watching at this like, it's not holding above resistance, and then it's dipping despite the volume on the 5 looking all right at the time. It's dicey. So you opt to leave this alone. It does work. But again, I don't like this entry. If this happens tomorrow, I'm going to not take this entry again. So it does rip. And look at how well it held up above the trend lines here. But still failed. This is not what we want to see in the market. We want to hold up this area and then make a new high. So instead of getting a big green candle, it was a big red candle, and we're back down. So, because I was taking size, that's why I'm really red. You can see again here, like another 7,000 share position, trying for break of 3. This is a robbery trade. I'm in here at 97, sold at 302. It said I'm out 98. Man, I probably shouldn't have flattened. Maybe that's why, the order's a little bit bigger, so they probably like, okay, let's make sure to get this guy at the lowest fill possible. Next time I'll just scale out smaller increments. Okay, moving on. TOP. So we're at 355. TOP comes along, and then we're green 800 here. Initially, it's a little choppy, but then the 1-minute candle makes a new high over 1130. It rips up to 1190. It double tops. He said, well, not quite double top. It makes a new high by 10 cents for break of 12. It doesn't quite happen, and then from there it pulls back. This one was disappointing, man. I thought we would have had something more out of it, but it just was not able to get back over the pre-market highs at 1268. Right here, break of 12, it's trying, and then sells off, halted down even. So I made money on break of, the 1-minute candle makes a new high. And then I'm scalping this green candle, doing well. The issue that I had on this stock was that I didn't size down for my pullbacks, which you guys usually know it's a rule for me. Today, I was trying to be more aggressive. So, the size I would usually take on the pullback, half size, I said, okay, let's just, rock out with normal size and let's just try and be accurate. That wasn't the case. In fact, at one point, I believe down here, we sized up. This thing went lower. Where was it? Or maybe, yeah, right. Actually, on this candle here, we sized up for 11 support. It's gonna drop down, and luckily, it at least held up a little bit. We got a decent fill coming out, or just like that. 3K shares, 50-cent loss, $1,500 in the red. But, I like the entry. I thought it was a good A quality area. I'm not worried about the risk. If I do take the loss, I take the loss. That's the price I pay for putting out such a aggressive position and trying to be aggressive, right? So if this did work out, if I'm in 3,000 at 11, let's say it snaps back to 50 pretty quickly, I probably sell half, 45, 50, and then can I hold the other half and scale out through the break of 12. So I definitely make at least 1,500, which is 50 cents. And then if I'm holding at least 500 through 12, or maybe 1,000, maybe. I mean, I'm not too sure how I would have did it, but break of the pre-market highs holding something would have been nice. 1220, 1250, maybe there's another dip coming in there to get back in. Because don't forget, right? Whenever the stock does make the new leg, there's always more opportunities coming. It's not just one trade, really and truly. We might get the second leg, a pullback, and then again consolidation for that third leg. So there's opportunities, more than one trades usually. So that was TOP. We gave back 700 off the top, and then I think we caught a small trade down in here somewhere for the 1 minute candle to make the new high down here. So I'm watching this as a flag. It's just a bear flag, right? So our bull flag would have had candles coming from down here, but instead it's a bear flag, right? The candles are coming from up top. But it's the same concept. Can the 1 minute candle make the new high as we're getting this small wedge and flag? It does. We go from 70 to 1014. And after that, Titanic. So I lost 700, or yeah, like 700 on the way down in these two candles. It halts down, resumes, and we make back like 200 in here. Moving on. GDC honorable mention, didn't trade it though. Did move up a little bit. Um, ATTO is the one that we kind of, started off with. We did mention we had a hard time on. I mean, usually when a stock goes up like this, I mean, we're doing well. This went from 187 to 350. What more did I need out of a day, out of a stock? And it's why, some of you guys might say, okay, I wasn't doing well. Why didn't he walk away? That's the gray area here, is that this stock was moving. It just didn't move how I wanted it to move. With the information I have now, I'd go back and trade it differently. I'd definitely be in and holding way longer. Like this, and that's the problem, man. Like this 5 minute pullback here, I normally would take, but it pulled back with high day volume. So, like there's a reason I'm not in here on this low trying to hold. So, like it eliminates one of my entries, right? That's essentially what happens. It eliminates the support trade because of how it pulled back from my standard of the pullback. Then the breakout trades were not it. I'm watching to see where the short seller should cover for a squeeze. Instead of a squeeze, it's a very gradual and slow grind up. So you could have made money if you had a good average holding. But if you're trying to scalp those highs, and sometimes you got to recognize it earlier, because I could have stopped the bleeding. But I don't know why I was so fixated on there being a squeeze. But what was also interesting is that the stock did everything that a stock did, the stock that we traded last week. And, that's part of why I didn't make the adjustment sooner. The stocks last week moved just like this, except, of course, it's a little bit of weakness earlier. The red candles here at the 1050, it did everything else the same way. So when I was expecting the squeeze never came. The 1 minute pullback areas worked all right, but I kind of got chopped out a little bit. Got caught in some unlucky drops that then went back into support. So instead of buying at support, I'm selling at support. Today was a good day, man. It was a good day. We just got a little, a little unlucky. It's like so many things just going against us on this day for us to be red. So, but that's part of the deal. Those of you that watch on every day, I refer to this type of a day as during the live stream I'll say so it's one of those days, right? One of those stocks, meaning just tricky, just difficult for whatever reason. It's not quite aligning, and I made a point towards the stream that it took us 2-3 hours to lose this 800. On a day where it's hot and we're gonna do well, it takes us 2 minutes to make it. So this was controlled. It wasn't just nonsense or anything like that. We did a good job. It just didn't work out. We'll be back tomorrow. Mentally, I feel great, and so that's all that matters. A quality trading will be back again tomorrow, and hopefully we can see some green though, right? So stay safe, stay green. It's been a Relentless Trader. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. No archive for today. Maybe we show some tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll show something. Why not? But yeah, catch you guys later. 9:15 a.m. sharp for the live stream tomorrow.